My name is Ben Domain, Managing Editor with WestfordCAT, and here's the December 17th edition of WestfordCAT News. The Select Board has voted to adopt reduced speed limits on 2 additional roads in Westford. During a December 12th meeting, the Select Board voted unanimously to adopt Mass General Law Chapter 17C for Griffin Road, which allows the town to reduce the speed limit to 25 miles per hour in the thickly settled district.
All in favor, Chris?
Aye.
Andrea?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
And I'm an aye.
The board also voted 4-1 to adopt the law for a section of Boston Road. Member Chris Barrett cast the dissenting vote.
No. I mean, I do think that this is really tough for me, right? So I've been the chair of the Pedestrian Safety Committee for years. I'm a huge proponent of, trying to make our roads safer. I personally would like to see the road redesigned. I'd like to see the speed control, vertical controls put in place. I'd like to see the speed limit be uniform. I'd like us to collect data through the speed control devices that will be put in place on that road before I necessarily say, go ahead and just put a few, quarter mile of this road under 25C at this point. So I would be, unfortunately, a no at this point.
Member Andrea Perriner-Sweet echoed Barrett's concerns, but wanted to address the issue, citing concerns about the timeline of Boston Road's reconstruction.
I certainly appreciate everything you said, and I also agree with everything you said, but we have a problem now, and we are at least 2 years away, I believe, from even construction starting on Boston Road, and that's even assuming that we're on time.
The change on Griffin Road impacts the entire stretch of the road, while the change on Boston Road only impacts a section of the road from Main Street to about Crown Road. This is because the Massachusetts Department of Transportation maintains jurisdiction over the section of Boston Road from Crown Road to Interstate 495. After reconstruction of Boston Road concludes in 2026 or 2027, the town will maintain exclusive jurisdiction over the entire road and can act to reduce the speed limit on the entire section of the road at that time. After the motion had passed, Police Chief Mark Chambers cited potential constitutionality issues for law enforcement enforcing what he calls an arbitrarily low speed limit.
But I do believe that artificially deflating that speed limit is actually going to cause a unrealistically low speed limit that can actually lead to more crashes. But what I worry about is if we reduce that speed limit to 25 miles an hour when we know, contrary to science and our traffic engineer information, where speed limits are based on the actual science of it, I'm worried we're going to create an unconstitutional situation where if we stop a vehicle for a 25-mile-an-hour violation, so say they're doing 36 miles an hour on Boston Road, which everybody would probably feel comfortable with without any sort of road modifications, and we secure some sort of evidence that leads to a major arrest, those types of things can be thrown out of court because the constitutionality of that artificial decrease of the speed limit, contrary to science, will be considered by court.
This change will take effect once new signage is installed. From resident and president of the Drew Farmhouse Incorporated, Ellen Hardy, work has begun on 70 Boston Road, the former Coldwell Banker offices and gateway to Westford. At an October 16th special town meeting, voters approved approximately $1.4 million in Community Preservation Act funds to convert the building into affordable housing. Crews from Habitat for Humanity and Youth Build Lowell deconstructed 40 cubicle offices in the garage of the property. This property will be converted into 5 apartment buildings for rent, as well as a 3-bedroom condominium to be sold to an income-eligible family by Habitat for Humanity. The renovation of the building is expected to be complete by 2024. 2 budgets will be presented to voters at the March 23, 2024 annual town meeting. A balanced budget, which is required to be presented to voters by law, will contain a number of cuts to services and staff. A second budget, which requests an additional $8 million through a Proposition 2.5 override, will be presented to maintain current service levels. Officials cite increased labor and energy costs, inflationary pressures, and low new growth for the need for an override. Without an override, town departments would be allocated an additional $364,000, a 1.3% increase from FY24. Despite this, a number of possible cuts are projected in public safety under the proposal, including 2 police officers, 2 firefighters, and 1 dispatcher. Additionally, positions such as the Community Wellness Coordinator, Sustainability Coordinator, and a heavy equipment operator could also be cut, among others. WestfordCAT has previously reported that Westford Public Schools would also see a reduction in approximately 70.2 full-time equivalent positions under the budget proposal. Officials say these cuts could lead to temporary closures at Rogers Fire Station, reduced operating hours at the J.V. Fletcher Library, and potential delays in road maintenance, among other potential service changes. With an override, town departments would see an additional $1.3 million, an additional 4.94% increase over FY24. This proposal would not create any new positions and would not accommodate any new staff, only maintaining current service levels. Additionally, future growth opportunities, such as proposed multifamily zoning, could alleviate future budgetary shortfalls if supported by voters in March. That's all for this week. I'm Ben Domain, and you're watching WestfordCAT News.